Let's talk real quick about a nerd rant. So, Sabine Wren got stabbed in I believe it was episode 2 of Ahsoka. Spoiler alert! That's as much as a spoiler as you're going to get here. Because it's necessary to talk about the issue that the community is taking with the fact that Sabine Wren got stabbed with a lightsaber. So the big issue here is that people are taking with it is that because the lightsaber's so hot, remember, we're talking about a very fictional thing, and generally speaking, we're talking about rather fictional things. Let's say Wolverine's abilities. It kind of depends on the writer as to how far things can go with said fictional thing, right? So I'm not discrediting. I'm like, oh, it's a story about space wizards. You guys are silly. No, I'm not saying that, because there is a valid point to be made here. But I think that it's not as big of an issue as people are making it out to be. So the point that is being made is that, I mean, we've seen people previously get stabbed with lightsabers and die instantly. See Han Solo, specifically in the sequel trilogy. That was very specifically center mask around vital organs. We've also seen people get chopped in half by lightsabers. See Darth Maul in the prequel trilogy. Also, speaking of the trilogy, the prequel trilogy, we saw Qui-Gon Jinn melt a door with his lightsaber. Now, there are very key things here. The impalement for Sabine Wren was not properly impalement. It was not center mass. It was off to the side around a relatively safe space to be sliced. Yes, there was some recovery time. They did address that. Should they have addressed it more? Absolutely. Is it necessary for the plot, generally speaking, that they spend an excessive amount of time explaining away something that was honestly minor in the scheme of things? No, I don't think that was necessary. Then the heat issue is another big one. What with Qui-Gon melting the door in episode 1, yeah, go back and watch episode 1 and see how long it took for that to happen. Again, yes, it is incredibly hot implement, something that is rather damaging to cells, as it were. Generally speaking, something that hot will do damage. Again, we're going to go back to the fact that, yes, they probably could have added a line or two of dialogue to explain that away so that it makes a little bit more sense. But it is being treated as a relatively minor issue. It is something that ended a fight so that the bad guys could get away effectively. And that's all it's being given. They did enough to show us where the impalement happened so that we can see she didn't hit any vital organs. She didn't slice, she didn't try and cut at all once it was inside of Sabine Wren, so it's not going to cut her in half, and she didn't keep it there for any significant amount of time, so it's not going to melt Sabine's insides or anything like that. Again, is it kind of dumb that they did this? Yeah, I'm sure there was a better way to have ended that lightsaber fight, battle, duel, whatever, aside from having one of your main characters get stabbed with one of the most precious weapons in all of this galaxy. So yeah, that could have not happened. Is it unneeded part of the plot? Yeah, sure. If you had asked me pre-episode 4, is this something that very potentially could come back, could play a role going forward? Yeah, possibly. But as of episode 4, it seems like we're moving on pretty quickly from it. So it was unneeded in general. But again, not that big of a deal. Yeah, big deal? No, not at all. You can't go from complete garbage fire to absolutely pristine content in a single show. I think you can get pretty dang close, and episode 4 has shown us that. But it's not going to be perfect. It's going to take a long time for Dave Filoni to really get back into making things better for Star Wars. This is a minor slip up as far as it goes.